Here exclusively on 1813, fair warning, the great Greg Kerr. My God, look at you. You are, no wonder you're a TV guy. You're so handsome.
Oh, yes. I feel fantastic, Kevin. Thank you.
And you have landed in a tremendous spot. KLST-TV, San Angelo, Texas. Tell us all about it, brother.
Well, after my time at KFDM ended, I was just very proactive about trying to move on and my career.
Yeah.
I'd like to retire someday, and as we get older, you think about stuff like that.
Yeah.
And oddly enough, this is where I began my career as a sports guy. Back in 1983, I was hired to do weekends, and I was moved up to the 10 o'clock sports show 3 weeks into it, and was here for 13 months and went to Austin. And so actually this is where I started, and strangely enough, sometimes things do happen in full circles, and this is kind of what's happened with me with my career. Yeah.
Isn't that beautiful? Listen, you have landed back in the journalism world, and it's where you belonged to begin with. You've traveled all over the country and been with several different television stations. Our viewers here are obviously very curious, very interested in Greg Kerr and how you landed, and why you left us. Why would you leave us over here?
Well, look, first of all, I've got to say that my wife and I have both been overwhelmed with the nice things that so many people have written on Facebook. They've messaged me. We had a woman down the street, didn't know her. She came by, and the house stopped and gave me a card, and we talked for about 45 minutes. And there's just been such heartwarming feelings sent our way that we just, it really overwhelmed me. I didn't realize, when you're doing what we do, Kevin, it's, you kind of insulate yourself sometimes and not realize maybe the kind of impact we make on people with what we do.
That's a good point.
It was just, there were times it almost drove me to tears. I know it did Cheryl as well, because we were just very surprised by that. And, I spent 16 years of my career in Beaumont. First time around as a sports guy, and then, of course, this last time as a news guy. And, there's been a lot of rumors about what happened.
Well, you told 1813 that you were relieved of duties, and that shocked and surprised us. We know you as a journalist. That shocked us.
It shocked me. A lot of rumors of kind of what was going on. Was it, being a conservative? Was it being a liberal? Who is he? What is he?
Several sources now say Greg Kerr was too conservative for KFDM-TV. Is that true?
I don't think it was necessarily that. I think there were some inner workings at the station that didn't appreciate that, maybe necessarily.
How do you mean?
Used it against me. So that's all I can say.
Elaborate on the notion, though. You made a comment in the newsroom that was deemed overly conservative in some way. How did this happen?
I think it was up to interpretation.
Yeah.
I think it was up to interpretation, and I think how some maybe discussions or talk went on maybe during the course of news gathering. And we've got to remember, we work at a news place,
and it's your job to steer the community, to steer the news product in a fair and balanced way.
Yeah. But let's put it this way: I was silenced more than once in that newsroom
for having conservative views,
for having an opinion.
Would you articulate those opinions as generally being conservative?
Well, I would say that lean, yes, and I'm not ashamed of that either. It's like you're almost shamed into what you believe in and how you operate your life these days. And I'm not ashamed of that. But yeah, I think that was an issue.
Yeah, it's fair for us to have differing views. Everyone has a different political ideology. It's fair to have that, and I never saw any coverage on air where when they told me, somebody said, well, I think maybe Greg Kerr made a conservative point in the newsroom. I said, "Oh, he's a conservative." See, I didn't know that.
No, you didn't, because nobody would even know that.
That says something.
Certain things that maybe I didn't agree with.
What did you not agree with, sir? What on earth could you possibly be saying or thinking that would cause such a disruption?
Maybe the way some things are written
Mm-hmm.
from the networks, and maybe I didn't care for the way they were written, didn't believe in that it was the full truth on stuff, so I questioned that. And basically, Kevin, in a nutshell, I was told just to be quiet and read it.
Be quiet and read it. Yes. Yeah. An all too familiar refrain in our newsrooms in America. Listen, do you, and be candid with me, because we love this frank conversation. Are American newsrooms, even at the local level, are they becoming more biased than they were before?